Good morning, everybody. It is meteorologist and weather forecast, and welcome back to another update, guys. Before we get to the video, I just want to say happy 4th of July, guys. I hope you guys are all going to enjoy your day, have some nice fireworks, go out there, enjoy the day with your family out there. But, guys, I just really hope you guys enjoy this 4th of July. As you can tell by the title, guys, this is going to be a U.S. forecast and a 4th of July forecast. So if you guys want to know what to expect in the day, if you need to cancel any plans, if you want to change the plans to later on or earlier. So that's why I'm going to have this video out earlier than I usually do for you guys to have about most of the day to watch this video. So if you guys want to know exactly what to expect in the next 10 days, so the U.S. forecast 10 to 20 days, and also what do you want to expect for today, like temperature-wise, precipitation-wise, they all come right up. Alright, guys, so first thing we're going to be looking at is the NAN 3KN model. So this is going to be more of a today forecast. This is not going to be the 10 forecast with the U.S. forecast. This radar goes only to July 7th. Only goes around 3 days. I actually really like it, though, because it's really detailed and it doesn't go super far out. But, guys, this is really a radar you want to pay attention if you guys want to know what's going to happen today. So right now, or in the next hour or so, we are gonna have very strong storms out there for Kansas. We're just gonna have a lot of rains in many areas. We're not gonna be a big band or a big area rain. It's gonna be very small bands. And then we're gonna have some rain showers out there for Texas, and then we're gonna have some more rain showers out there for the plains and for parts of the Wyoming area and parts of the western part of the country. Let's go all the way more into today. So if we go more into today, it's going to be more like around 3 o'clock today for the eastern part of the country. We're actually going to have a low pressure system and a high pressure system. That's really going to bring in some storms for the southeast out there, for southern Georgia, parts of the Carolinas. And then we're going to have very, very strong storms for the Appalachian Mountains, for the West Virginia area. Then we're going to have scattered showers out there for the New York area near the Buffalo. Then we're also going to have more rain showers out there for the Oklahoma and Arkansas area and for the Kansas City area. So we're going to have a lot of rain for just many areas. We're going to have some rain showers out there for the Minneapolis area and some more rain showers out there for the Wyoming area, Montana, and Dakotas. We go more to today. This is going to be in the next 13 hours. So it's really close to midnight here. So some people like to do fireworks here. But again, it's different times here in the western part of the country too. But later on tonight, we're going to have very strong storms out there for the Virginia area, southern Georgia, southern Florida. And then we're going to have some more rain showers out there for near the Philadelphia area and parts of the Pittsburgh area. Then we're going to have more rain heading towards around 10:20, or this is around 10 o'clock here for the mid-eastern time, or central time. We're going to have very strong storms out there for the Wisconsin area, parts of Detroit, more showers out there for the Ozarks, and then more showers out here for part of the western part of the country. And we're going to have very small showers out there for the Seattle area. So we go all the way here. As it gets more later into night for parts of the central time, it's going to get a lot later tonight. We're going to have very, very powerful storms out here for the Nebraska area and for the South Dakota area. So we can actually have some canceled plans here. So if you guys want to do fireworks really late today, I think you might want to do it more of 9 or 10. Because by 11 and 11:30, we're really going to have very strong storms out here. And you don't want to be out right before a thunderstorm, because there can be lightning that comes right ahead. Now we're going to have more rain showers out here for the Ohio Valley again, and then more to the Missouri. So this is So this is the end. So now we passed July 4th. This is now July 5th. So now we're going to have these showers that were in Nebraska moving down south for parts of Lincoln, Nebraska, moving to Wichita. And then we're going to have more rain showers going to the South Dakota area, and then more rain showers out here for the Mid-Atlantic states and parts of the Southeast. And then let's go all the way to July 7th. We're just going to have a lot of rain showers here for the eastern coast. And then we're just going to have a lot of rain showers too for the Ohio Valley. Potentially severe weather out there for the Northeast. That could be an upcoming video. Now we're just going to be looking at day 1, because we really did look at the detailed forecast so you guys can really see what the threat is today. So guys, we're just going to have a marginal out here for the Charlotte area and for the Jacksonville area and parts of Savannah, Georgia. We have a marginal out there, and then we have a bigger marginal, and that's for Baltimore too. Then we have a way bigger marginal out here for parts of the plains and the western part of the country out here. That's going to be including parts of Denver out there, parts of Minneapolis, parts of Salt Lake City. And so then the slight chance, that's where we actually have some more severe weather. So if you guys are in this area, if you guys are in this circle, you guys can really have some severe weather later today. So guys, just watch out. Keep on looking at the radar event every so hour or so, and just see if the storms are coming closer. And guys, it could potentially cancel some plans. If you guys have plans like in the evening, you guys might need to watch out there. So we're gonna have Cheyenne, Wyoming, Kearney, Nebraska, Laramie, Wyoming, North Platte, Nebraska, Michelle, South Dakota. So those Central Plains areas. And then we're going to have the enhanced risk. So this is where we're going to have the most severe weather today. So guys, this is where you really need to watch out today. This is where you can really have the worst weather today. So if you're in this area, you might need to be able to cancel plans if you have some late plans. Casper, Wyoming, Scottsbluff, Nebraska, Torringville, Wyoming, and Douglas, Wyoming. And then we're going to go to the tornado threat. Only a 5% chance out there for some areas there. The wind threat's getting up to just 15% chance for those areas for Casper, Kearney, North Platte, Nebraska, all those areas. And the hail threat is a 30% chance out there. So guys, you guys can have some windy weather out there if you're going to have like some frisbee out there or some sports out there or playing out there. It's going to be quite windy out there with these storms. Casper, Wyoming, Scottsbluff, Nebraska, Torrington, Wyoming, Douglas, Wyoming. So that's what's looking like today for July 4th. Then July 5th, we're just going to have just going to have a marginal risk for some areas of the plains. Now we're going to be looking at a more not really, it's a less detailed radar, but it goes all the way to the next 10 days. So this is going to be part of the July 4th and U.S. forecast, but we already looked at the really July 4th one, so we really don't need to look. As you can tell, we're just going to have some rain showers out there for the Ohio Valley out there for this South Dakota area. If we go to the next three days, so this is going to be July 6th out here, so we are going to see some rain showers out of here for parts of the Midwest areas. Let's go all the way to the next, let's go all the way to the 8th of July. We could have some rain showers out here for the Mid-Atlantic states, and again for these plains areas that we have been seeing a lot of rain in those areas past couple days. We go all the way to July 10th, that's where we could see some more rain heading towards the Iowa area, the Minnesota area. Other than that, we're really not going to have much rain in the country there. But by we go to July 10th, later that day, we will have more rain to the southeast. As we go more later into closer to the next 10 days, we will have a lot more rain heading towards the Florida area and the southeast. Now we're finally going to get some rain there. And then we're going to have some very heavy rain, some severe storms for the South Dakota and Nebraska area. And then we're just going to have some rain showers out there for the northeast. And then by the next 10 days, we're really just going to have some more rain out there in the southeast. So we're just going to have a lot of rain in the southeast now. Now we're going to be looking at the 8 to 14 day outlook. So this is going to be including parts of July 4th all the way to the next 14 days. But this is not what July 4th is going to look like. This is like, this is not going to be including July 4th. Sorry guys, this is 8 to 14 days, not 1 to 14. So this is 8 to 14 days. This is going to be the U.S. forecast. So as you can tell, we're going to have very warm temperatures out here, stretching from coast to coast, from Boston all the way to Portland. We're going to have very warm weather, but we're not going to have in this area for parts of the northern Texas, for parts of central Mississippi and Alabama, all the way to Idaho. In this orange right here, that's honestly, guys, not going to be really hot. It's going to be maybe 1 or 3 degrees below average or above average. But over here is where we're really going to have it for parts of the Portland. That's where we can actually have very high chances for not severe weather, very high chances for above average temperatures. Looks like we're going to have above average temperatures there for a while, all the way to falls. Looking like we're going to have above average temperatures here, up to 5 degrees above average for these areas. And also right here, southern Texas can really have some really above average temperatures. Then we're going to have a cooler area right here for the plains. So for parts of the Wisconsin area, for parts of Chicago, Indiana, Ohio, Michigan, that's where we can only have maybe 1 to 2 degrees below average. Same thing for parts of Wyoming and Nebraska. But in this darkest blue right here, that's where we can get maybe up to 2 to 3 degrees below average. Maybe just 1 to 2. Maybe the same there, but that's where we just have a higher probability of having more cold weather for parts of the Dakotas, Minnesota, Iowa, northern Nebraska, northern part of Wyoming, and western Montana. So this is the temperature outlook. Now for the precipitation outlook, it is quite strange. So we could have average precipitation for northern Georgia, all the way for parts of the Ohio Valley and Mid-Atlantic states. But then we have all around us above average precipitation. We're gonna have above average precipitation for southern Georgia, northern Florida, for the Panhandle, and then we're gonna have also above average precipitation for the parts of the South Central. Other than that, we're just gonna have very little above average precipitation for many of the areas, for all the way to plains, coming to all the way to Montana, Idaho, Oregon, California. This is again above average temperature is going to be coast to coast out here. We're not going to have a lot of areas. Then we're going to have dry, so it looks like we're going to have very warm temperatures and dry for the next 8 to 14 days for parts of the southern part of Texas, all the way to parts of the western part of the country. For those areas in the Four Corners and Utah, more in Arizona, that's where we're really going to have below average precipitation, really dry out there. It's going to be very hot and dry for the next couple of days, so that's really not going to feel so good. So now I'll be looking at the temperature in 2-meter temperature. So this is going to be showing what the temperature is going to, exact temperatures. As you can tell, we're just going to have exact temperatures right here. For this is going to be today. This is going to be for July 4th and all the way for the next 10 days. So it's going to be both July 4th forecast and also U.S. forecast. So as we go later today, we are going to have very warm temperatures again, above average temperatures here. We're going to have some 90s out there, up to 96. And then most of, for the northern part of the country, do have some 50s and some 40s out there. But in general, most of the country out here is going to be some 70s, some mid-60s out there for the northeast. We're going to have some very low 80s for the southeast too. And then for most of the country out here, it's going to have up to 77 to parts of some 70s out here. If we go to later tonight, we will have very warm temperatures out here for today. It's going to be very warm today. We're going to have up to 100 degrees over here, and then we're actually going to have some very warm temperatures from coast to coast out here. From the for parts of the eastern coast. We're going to have up some 90s out here, very high 90s up to 97, then some more mid 90s out here. And then we're going to have in between these, we're going to have up to 90 to some very high 70s out here. And then for much of the northwestern part of the country, we will actually have up to still some 50s out here. Then we're going to have some very hot, warm 60s and low 70s out here. But then we're going to have some 90s out here for parts of the plains. And then in general, for parts of the Wisconsin area, we can have some very warm 70s. So that is today. If we go all the way tomorrow, we can still have these colder temperatures out here for parts of the northwestern part of the country. Let me do that better. For the northwest part of the country, we're going to have some 40s and 30s out here, guys. Really warm temperatures, or cold temperatures. It's going to be a bit better tomorrow, where a maximum temperature is going to be 89. We're just going to have, in general, some 70s out here for much of the eastern part of the country. Some 70s, and down the west, we do have some 30s. But as we do go later on into all the way to Saturday, it's going to be looking warmer, up to 103 degrees out here for parts of Mississippi. We're going to have some very warm 90s out here, and same thing for the Death Valley area. Then we're going to have some 90s out there, and for warm 80s for the eastern coast. And then for much of the northern part of the country out here, we do have those 70s again, 74 up to 77. If we go all the way to July 10th, we do still have up to 104 degrees out here. Going to be out here for the near that Wichita and Texas area. We're really going to have, or the Dallas area, we're going to reach at 100 degrees. Going to be a bit warmer for the East Coast then. It's going to only have some warm 80s. And then we're going to have some more 60s and 70s out here for the northern part of the country. As we do go on, the temperatures do get a lot warmer for the West Coast. But it does get a lot colder for the East Coast. As you can tell, we're only going to get up to, we're just going to have some low 60s again. And these are going to be the highs, guys. And then we're going to have some mid 80s out here for the Georgia area. So it is calming down a bit. But not going to calm down out here, guys. It's going to get even warmer, up to 113 degrees, guys, up there for the Death Valley area. And then for much of the Texas and Oklahoma area, we are going to have some very warm 70s, or some very warm 90s and low 100s. Go all the way the next 10 days. We do get up to 112 degrees out here for parts of the Sierra Mountains now, so it is stretching a bit more. And then we are going to have these 60s to actually warm 70s now, and then much of some very warm 90s out there. Now that we checked the real temperatures, we're just going to be looking at the, if it's below average or above average. As you can tell, it's going to show you by temperatures. So by today, today, as you can tell, this is gonna be July 4th and U.S. forecast. So today, we are gonna have up to 6 to 7 degrees below average out here for parts of the northern part of the country, from Montana and Oregon, and then we could have some more below average, up to 2 degrees below average for the California area. We will have very up to maybe possibly 2 to 3 degrees of above average for the eastern coast, and then the warmest temperature is going to be Minnesota, up to 6 degrees above average there. As we go later today, these temperatures will get even colder now. We will get up to about 9 degrees below average for Montana, and this colder temperatures will stretch more to Oregon, Montana, Idaho, and also stretch for parts of the California area. And then we do have these warmer temperatures start to move more to Canada, up to 6 degrees above average. And then for the general area, the circle, we do have only up to above 4 degrees above average, and then some below average temperatures for the Texas and Louisiana area. Let's go all the way to the 6th of July. We do have up to, guys, possibly 11 degrees below average out here for the Wyoming area. We do have warmer temperatures start to stretch for the western coast. Now we do have these warmer temperatures start to get into the southern part of Texas. We do have the warmest temperatures out there in the east coast now, up to 8 degrees above average for the northeast, and then still these 2 to 3 degrees above average for the Georgia area. If we go all the way, let's go all the way to the 10th of July. All the way to 10th of July, we still have these very cold temperatures for Montana, up to 6 to 7 degrees below average. And then we're going to have these below average temperatures up to 2 to 3 for parts of the California area. We do have very warm temperatures up to 6 to 7 degrees above average for the south central. And then we do, again, still have these 2 to 3 degrees below average for much of the areas of the east coast. Then we do get a below average temperature for the northern Maine area, up to 5 degrees below average. As we go all the way the next 10 days, we will see some below average temperatures stretch for now those areas for the plains, where we do see these colder temperatures for the next 8 to 14 days. So we do actually get up to 6 to 7 degrees below average right here for the northern part of the country. And then we do have to the same numbers for the Kansas area. And then we do have, as I did say, in the temperature-wise, we do have these temperatures start to cool down a little bit in the east coast. So now we do have average temperatures now. And now we only get up to maybe 1 degrees above average, and then we do have up to these 9 degrees above average for Idaho, and then same up to 5 to 6 degrees above average for the west coast. Now we'll be looking at the precipitation now really fast. This is not going to be July 4th. It's going to be just U.S. forecast. This does not really take long. So by the 11th of July, we are going to have a lot of precipitation out here for the eastern coast and for parts of the plains. If we go all the way to like the 21st of July, still going to have some more above average temperature precipitation out there. All the way to my birthday, the 28th of July, we're just going to have very scattered above average precipitation for the eastern coast, and then below average precipitation for parts of the western coast. Last thing we're going to be looking at the precipitation. By the end of today, we are going to have up to 2 degrees, or sorry, not 2 degrees, up to 2 inches of rain out there for South Dakota. And then in general, we're not going to get that much rain, really. We're just going to get below less than an inch for some areas in the Ohio Valley area. And then let's go all the next 10 days. It's going to be U.S. forecast now. And then we are going to get up to 23 inches out here for parts of the western coast of Florida. Looks like we could have some system out here, really. We're going to have a lot of rain out here off the coast of Florida. And then 23 inches up there for the Panhandle and the Big Bend. We're going to have up to 2 to 3 inches for the Georgia area. And then we are going to have not too much rain for the east coast there, but we are going to have a lot of rain for parts of the upper plains there. And look how dry it is going to be. It truly is very dry, up to 0 inches for the next 10 days. So guys, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Please do not forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Enjoy your 4th of July, guys. Hope you guys have a better understanding of what's happening today and for the next couple of days. Up to maybe all the way to July, but hope end of July. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and bye, guys.